If you're considering an online degree program, chances are you have been worried at some point that an employer will not take your degree as seriously or the difficulty of your classes as seriously as they do for those of someone who went to a brick and mortar school. This is especially a common question right now when so many people are getting online degrees, and we want to use this video to talk to you about what you should feel about that and how you should approach that conversation with an employer who might ask, "Oh, you went to an online school? How was that?" And you feel like, "Oh man, this feels like kind of a loaded question. How should I respond?" And we've got some advice for you, and we're going to dive on into it.
So if you're curious if your online degree is going to get taken seriously, rest assured that the answer is yes, but they may have some questions. The majority of organizations report that they have hired people with online degrees in the past, so the path has already been blazed for you at most of the organizations that you're going to be interviewing. So if you want to make sure that your online degree gets taken seriously, be prepared to answer the following questions.
Number one, is your school accredited? Now, that might not make sense to everybody right away, but essentially what accrediting bodies are is they're an organization typically in a region of the United States that has all of the colleges in that area and the universities gathered together, and they go and test each other and ask each other questions that are basically trying to find out whether the school is legit, they're actually teaching students, they're successful, they're worth the money. If a school is accredited, that means that an accrediting organization has said, yes, that is a safe school to go to. And typically there are two types of accrediting bodies, regional and national. Regional bodies are going to look more at a particular portion of the United States, and they're going to be more likely to work with nonprofits and state schools and private schools. Then you might have a national accrediting body, which is going to look at schools across the country, and that's going to be more for-profit schools and technical schools and like industry preparatory schools, things like that. And typically regional accrediting bodies are considered more prestigious than national accrediting bodies, even though it sounds like it should be the other way around. So essentially, if you have a regionally accredited school, then you're probably going to be good to go. If you want to go with a nationally accredited school, you just got to make sure that you do a little bit more research and make sure that that degree is sufficient to go on to the next step for you. The second question is, what did you learn while you were there? And this is something that you need to have figured out, okay? So not just what classes did you take or what was your bachelor's degree in, but what were specific skills, lessons, principles, values that you learned? And this is something I talk about to my in real life students every single day, and my online students as well. And I say, when you go talk to an employer about what this degree meant to you, why you picked this major, whatever the case is, you need to be able to point to specific things you learned that will support their mission. So if you're going to go to an accountancy agency and that's where you want your job, you need to talk some accountancy lingo, talk about your favorite thing that you learned in an accountancy class, and you need to have that top of mind and ready to go. Same way if you go to teaching, you need to be able to talk about retention or classroom attention, classroom management. Talk about how you learned those things that are core to that discipline into that field.
The next question that you need to be able to answer in your interview is why you attended college online. Now, online college is a great fit for many adult learners, so it's silly to be embarrassed when you're talking about your online education. So when they ask you why you attended online, some of the most common answers to this question are going to be, it was affordable. There were no colleges in my area that had the program that I wanted to study.
Which shows that you're focused on your goal, which is really good.
Exactly. I was working a full-time job, and I was not able to go to the classroom during the day.
Bring it back around to that job experience.
Exactly. I had commitments in the home that would have kept me from spending hours a day in a classroom. There's no embarrassment in that.
Yeah.
And then also, some people just prefer to learn online. That is a great reason. These are all things that you could bring up in the interview to explain why you did your degree online as opposed to in the classroom. The last question you might get asked, why should we hire an online graduate? And I truly believe this is a great opportunity for you to shine. Talk to them about how you were able to work a full-time job, in most cases, a full-time job while you were studying. Talk to them about the time management skills that you learned while doing that. These are skills that are directly applicable to a job.
They want to be able to see that you're somebody who can balance work and life, and taking classes online while doing the rest of life is really good proof of that. Plus, if you're doing a job and you're talking about how, I took classes while doing a job, then that's a great segue into talking about your work experience too.
Exactly. Talk to them about how you used digital communication to coordinate a group project,
Yeah.
to coordinate across regions and sometimes across countries to get work done. These are skills that employers are looking for.
Maybe stuff like Skype or Zoom. If you get a stronger knowledge of Microsoft Word, these can all be strengths. And like you were saying, that digital communication, being able to collaborate with people at a distance. So, because you might be working with people from a different branch, you might be working from home, something like that. And so think about what you're doing with your online degree. You're building the resume of your work readiness in a digital environment by taking those classes, and it practically counts as work experience. It's really good stuff. So don't forget that your online degree, if you know how to talk about it the right way and explain the strengths, is a strength to your application. You've just got to know how to present it. Take the truth of what you experienced and what you learned and show employers why it makes you well prepared for the job you're going into. If you want to watch another video from us, check out this video where somebody said, hey, should I feel awkward being a 36-year-old in a classroom full of 17-year-olds? That's a great question. We answered it for them, gave them some advice. You'll enjoy that as well. And if you want to go to our website and check out our Graduate U 7-step checklist, it'll take you from no degree to diploma in hand in just 7 steps.